Do you know that some NGOs operating today may not exist by 2030? Actually, now, not because they are no longer important. It is because the world is changing and they refuse to adapt. They refuse to change with the world. So what trends will shape the future of non-profit and NGO, especially in and around Africa? Now, first thing is technology, because technology will become a major part of everyday NGO operations. Artificial intelligence, digital data collection, online learning, automation, and some of the other things. They will change how organizations research problems, deliver programs, as well as communicate with their donors and also measure impact. But technology must also be used responsibly, very, very important. And beneficiary data must be protected at all costs. Human judgment must never be completely relegated to the machine. The second thing is depending entirely on foreign grants will become increasingly risky, as we've seen it even now, right? The future belongs to NGOs that can be able to diversify their income through local donors, corporate partnerships, membership, community members, social enterprise, as well as mission-aligned services that they can offer. Grants will remain very important in the non-profit space, but they should not be the only thing keeping your NGO or your non-profit alive. The third thing is local organizations will demand greater leadership. African NGOs should no longer be treated as organizations that only implement ideas designed somewhere else, right? Communities must participate in identifying problems, designing the solutions, and making the decisions, because the future of development must be locally led. The fourth thing is climate change will affect every single sphere of society as well as the non-profit work. So whether you work in agriculture, you work in health, you work in education, you work in migration or poverty reduction, it doesn't matter. Climate resilience will become a major part of the conversation. You may not be a climate NGO, but climate change will affect even the people that you serve. And then finally, trust will become one of the sector's most valuable currencies, because donors and communities will expect stronger governance, transparent finances, safeguarding, data protection, and measurable results, because good intentions will not be enough by 2030. Successful NGOs will not necessarily be the biggest organizations. They will be the organizations that can learn quickly, use technology wisely, and build local partnerships, diversifying their income sources as well as proving their impact. So let me ask you, what must you do today to build an organization that can remain relevant in 2030? Because the future will not reward organizations that simply treat yesterday's programs. It will reward those organizations that are prepared to solve tomorrow's problems.